Welcome everybody to the LOLO Knows radio show. I am your host, Lolo. We are doing a video radio recording of the 2016 Miss Inc. here in Cleveland. 2015? Am I going up ahead? Shit, I didn't even get through my first fucking drink. Are you serious? Oh my God, last night's catching up to me. I thought I was really good. All right, 2015, Miss Inc. And I'm here with the beautiful Roo Phoria. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. And we have the third time MC host of the evening, Miss Bernadette Macias.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. I really want to get right down to it because I know we have a contest going on, and I know that everybody's needing you guys there. But I think it's very important because I really wanted to do this video, this interview last year when we had an opportunity, but obviously things didn't work out. But guess what? Things always happen for a reason, and you know what? I always feel like this is like the second time it happens. It happens. Oh, it comes back. If something's meant to be, it's going to be, and it was meant to be now because right now, Roo, you're actually in your third year of this. Third year. This started out when I was managing the Bomb Squad. You realize it says, "Oh, a party idea. Let's do this contest," and you're like, "And now, seriously, dude, listen," and it's growing.
There's nothing like this on the East Coast. I believe the reason I started this is because every competition was all on the West Coast, and I could never get out there to go. So I was like, I'm going to make my own. So that's what I did.
You know what you did? Because you know what you saw from that one first successful show, and you saw something. You saw something that you've said, you know what? I can actually do this. I believe in this. And it always starts with a thought. And it also starts with the belief. And as soon as you have the belief, something beautiful manifests out of it. You're unstoppable at that point. And let me just say this. With you, Missy, okay, did you ever think for 1 second you would be an icon of the tattoo model world? And let's just say, I mean, you know what? You're humble. Maybe she doesn't feel like that. Maybe there's others that have come before that she's, you know, I'm sure that she gives homage to. But, you know, she is at this point in her career where, you know what? People like you, you have inspired this woman here to do this. And now you're saying she inspires you. How do you, I mean, seriously.
Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I don't see myself as an icon. And whenever people say that to me, I almost get a little bit uncomfortable because I don't see myself that way. I don't believe that I am. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about Roo, she's one of the strongest women that I know. She works hard. She's an ex-military vet. She does these charity events. She puts together this event. She works nonstop, and she's beautiful, and she's exactly what I wish more women were. She inspires me so much. It's why I do these events, and I'm so honored when she asks me to, because to be in her presence and work with her means so much to me. Like, I see it the other way around.
Okay, and I'm just gonna say, okay, 1 year ago, this woman, you know, she comes and sees me for skincare, okay, and 1 year ago we were in my skincare room, and she had tears in her eyes, you know what I mean? It was just, we were talking about sullen angels. We were talking about this whole thing about, you know, even the contest then, and what it meant to her to even be a sullen angel. And I just told her right then and there, whether or not it manifests that year, I says, you are a sullen angel. If you believe that you are, you're going to be. 1 year after our conversation, just 1 week ago in my skincare room, again, we're revisiting this conversation. 1 year after, darling, you and me, with this soul, I feel like I have a moment with you. And you're saying, I'm a sullen angel. Lo, I'm a sullen angel. Can you believe this?
To me, it's still so surreal. Like, it's what I dreamed of when I started tattoo modeling. Like, I looked at Sullen Angels as the most top elite tattoo models that were just so beautiful and gorgeous that I wanted to be up there with them. So that's what I strived and drove, like, all my passion for, and finally it was noticed, and it's just really exciting.
Isn't it?
It is.
Isn't it amazing what your mind can do, what you can actually create? Isn't it amazing? I wish we all can continuously be like this. It's like we always have to fight against the grain. You know, when we just stop and just let go and just continue to do the work, everything seems to fall into place. Don't you think that's true?
Absolutely. Set your mind to something. Let go of your fears. Don't give up. Don't care what anyone else is thinking. Don't let anybody discourage you or get in your way, and just stay focused on what you want and what makes you happy, and it's going to happen.
Crazy thing is after the first competition, I had two girls tell me, like, don't even waste your time, like, it's not worth it. And I basically was like, you know what? That gave me more passion to be like, I want to show you up and show that I can do this. And a year later, I did it, and I don't even talk to those two girls anymore. They don't even talk to me. So I'm just like, I basically.
They got you to this point. Sometimes even the right, they pushed you more. They needed to be there to drive you to get to this today. So,
You're supposed to be. The universe puts people and things in your life that'll push you and get you to the place that you're meant to be.
there you go. Let's talk about your earlier career. I mean, in modeling. Is this something that you always wanted to do? Because you're a mom, you're a mother. You know, look. She's a mom. Exactly. Two beautiful kids. Okay, what led you? Where did it begin?
It's actually a very crazy, random story. I never thought that I could be a model. I never wanted to be a model. I was a tomboy for most of my life. I didn't own my first pair of heels. I was like 25, you know? I'm like 32 now. I'm old. But I actually wanted to be a writer. So I wrote for a local paper, a local magazine.
A journalist like me?
Yes, exactly. I wrote for a magazine to interview bands. I was the music editor. I went to community college and studied journalism and wrote on the college newspaper, and that's what I was doing, and I loved it. And I remember I was out with a friend one day, and I was approached by somebody who works for Solon TV, and I got asked to interview Mickey Avalon, who I didn't even know who he was at the time, and it was a video interview, which I wasn't used to because I did like the tape recorder, like interviews, and I'd write up a story. So anyways, I did that interview. It went well. I'm now their main correspondent. I travel the world with Solon TV, but that led to Solon asking me to be a model for them, which I'd never, leading up to that, I did a couple of small shoots. A random guy at a bar asked me to model his clothing company. Okay. And I was like at a bar drinking. I was like, okay, whatever. So I put the shirt on in the parking lot, took a few photos, and they did really well. Well, No Fear somehow saw these photos, and so they booked me to do a shoot for No Fear, and it was like my first photo shoot. Okay. Incredibly nervous, and they put these huge banners and flags in all their stores across the nation, and that's like kind of how it started, was those two shoots. And then once I started actually doing it and meeting women in this industry and seeing their mentality and where they stood as opposed to like where I stood and where I was, I just want to help direct people in the right way. Right. You know what I mean? There's so many misguided women in this industry, and I was as well when I first started. Like, abso-fucking-lutely, but there's so many misguided women in this industry that think they have to be a certain way to make it, and you don't, you know? So I've just, I tried really hard to let girls know, you know, like give them my advice and give them my direction, let them know that you don't have to be this sort of model if you want to be known. You can.
But also, you know, in fairness, you made a statement. You weren't trying to be, but then it was something that was led to you. You know, it was very organic. Even like me doing the show, it was very organic. I mean, Roo was with me when all of this has happened. You know, it just happened to me. She was with me at that stage of my life and everything else. And it's just like, and it's amazing right, exactly. When you're led somewhere and you're like, oh my God, like you're an Army vet. You know, you came out of the freaking military, you're badass. And you said, you know what? I'm going to fucking model. I'm going to damn model. I'm going to do this. You know, I mean, seriously.
My husband, like, when I got out, he started taking pictures with me, you know, just joking around. And he's like, you should really model. Like, you're really good. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's funny. And then we got with our friends from Mushroom Head, and I talked to Skinny, the drummer, and I was like, hey, I want to do a photo shoot. Like, who could I go to? And he hooked me up with Blind 7. And then from there, just I mean, the rest is history. 4 years later, here I am.
I know, isn't it awesome? I mean, you know what? You got a good partner in your life that believes in you. Isn't that important? You know, I feel the same way right now, even just in my life and what I'm doing. You know, when you have that partner in your life that just believes in you and supports you and will just show up whether they're even tired. You know, and they're there for you, babe. You know, you know many of those nights,
Yes.
Roo, that we've had, and you know, I'm sure Ken has been at every freaking stage of your life, whether he wanted to or not, but he was there to back you up 100% because he signed on to do it. You know, I also want to talk about, you know, you mentioned something about people, you know, kind of falling into the copycats. Roo talks about this a lot. People trying to they need to find their own identity.
So important.
I mean, seriously.
It's so important.
You know, photographers, the do's and don'ts. If people if they want to do what you're doing, what is some really good advice that you can give people right now?
You know, when
Women, come on. I know you're on Instagram all the time, and you know what I'm saying. Facebook, Twitter.
I just remember when I first started modeling, and a lot of models are doing different things, and they were telling me, this is what you have to do if you want to make money modeling. This is what you have to do if you want to, you know what I mean? And I didn't believe it, and okay, this is what I did, and this is what I recommend to other models. I think you need to sit down and be incredibly honest with yourself as to what kind of model you want to be. Do you want to be a print model? Do you want to be a clothing model, a fashion model? Do you want to be like a runway model? Do you want to do like implied? Are you comfortable doing nude shoots? You need to decide what you want to be, and then once you decide, focus on that and stay on that track and fucking don't do anything else. Like, brand yourself. That's what you do, you know? So I wanted to do print. I wanted to do ads and stuff like this. So I would Google clothing companies that use tattooed models, and I would email them like every couple days. Like, I am a tattoo model. I would love to work conventions for you, do print work for you. And I would email. And out of every 100 emails I sent, maybe 2 would reply. But out of those two, one would be a paid job or a something, you know? And once I got with Solon, I kind of decided that I didn't want to work with anybody else because there were so many models that were kind of not like literally whoring themselves out, but when you work with like 7 clothing companies, people just see you as anybody can get her, anybody can work with her, anybody can.
Not to be weird, I call them brand ambassador whores because they'll just post any clothing company. Like me personally, I'm a Primal Attitude. I'm a Primal Siren. That's the sister distributor with Sullen. But once I became Sullen and like now I'm Primal, like that's all I'm doing. Like I don't want to promote for anyone else because that's I feel like I just want to. Yeah, like I just want to promote Sullen. Like that's what I strived for 4 years to get into, and I don't want to step back and just promote some, not to be rude, but low-line, just starting out company. Like, I've been approached so many times by other companies, like, hey, we want you to model, we'll send you T-shirts, and I'm like, you know what? No thanks. Because I really just want to stick with Sullen.
Now, all of this is obviously life lessons that you guys had to learn the hard way. So everybody's got to know that this is advice from, you know, 2 professionals that started out and made some mistakes, had to fall and get back up and say, you know what? Okay, this is what I need. This is what I need to do. You know, I can't make that mistake anymore. And I think a lot of times people sell themselves too short. You know, and I think they're putting out too much out there where it's just like it's unnecessary. So okay, let's define the lines between sex and like, you know, like you guys are sexy. You guys also are in control of that. You own it. You own it to the point where nobody else owns it. You could put an image out there, but when I see a Roo Phoria image, when I see a Bernadette Macias image, you own that image. Nobody else owns it but you and you. You put it out there, yes, here is me, but I own me. The difference between anybody else that steps in front of a camera, you can see it all day. I'm an artist. You know, I'm an artist. I'm a visual artist. I can see it all day. A lot of people you could see they're out there just to get attention, trying to, you know, throw the flags out there and this, that, and the other. And you can just tell. When I see a Roo Phoria or a Bernadette Macias pic, Oh, no, honey. I own this. Take that. Oh, here. Here. Right? Isn't it the truth? We're in an interview. Love it. Yes, we're going to wrap it up. I know you got to get back to your contest, but can you agree with me on that? Just talk real quickly about that point that I made. Yes. About owning yourself.
Oh, I mean,
How do you own yourself?
you have to be able to, before you can own yourself, honestly, you have to be able to look in the mirror and love yourself for who you are and, like, everything. Because once you love yourself, the doors are limitless. Like, opportunities will open. Like, if you're always dwelling in the negative, like, oh, I don't like my nose, I don't like the way I look, then, to me, I feel like the more you dwell, the more just bad things happen to you because you're not paying attention to actually the positive things that are coming into your life. You have to basically look, when there's something bad happening, I always try to look at the positive outcome of any bad situation because I'm still alive, I'm breathing, I'm married, my husband loves me, everything's good. Like, I don't need anything else. I could live in a cardboard box and I'd be happy.
Damn, that was good advice. That's my girl, Roo. Go to your contest. Okay, Bernadette, would you like to comment on that?
I think that one of the most important things that models miss these days or they don't realize is that they do own themselves. You are in control of how you're perceived. You are in control of your career. If you're in a shoot and there's a creepy photographer, you're in control of how far that's going to go. You're in control of if you're going to devalue yourself. You're in control of these things. There's a lot of models coming up today that don't realize that. So they work with a creepy photographer and they let things cross a boundary and it devalues you in this industry. People don't take you serious. If you're in a photo shoot and you don't want to be a nude model and a photographer asks you to take your clothes off, they feel like they have to do that. You don't have to do that. You're in control of yourself. You do own yourself. You do own your look. You own who you are and what career you want. You do have the right to say, no, I'm not taking my shirt off. I don't want to do that. It's not they think that's going to devalue them and lose them work. It's not.
Let's also talk about contracts with photographers. How important and what should be stated in those contracts for anybody that's out there wanting to work with somebody. Because I will just say this now, Nikki Forney, who is a Cleveland model here, early on in her career, it was really sad, but her picture was compromised. Her picture was compromised and used for porn sites and this, that, and the other. And, and she was very young and, it made national news. And I want to know exactly even just the parameters for these young women that they should take, they should be aware of when they're working with photographers. What rights do they have as models and what should be stated in the contract?
So it all depends. If you're shooting with a photographer and they ask you to sign a release, releasing all your rights to that image, and you sign that contract, they can do whatever the fuck they want to do with those pictures. You do have the right to bring your own release form and say, I'm not going to sign yours because I don't want you to have all the rights no matter what, but you can sign mine that gives you rights to my photos as long as they have nothing to do with porn or anything that you're not okay with, and make them sign that. Then you both have power in it. You're not just saying, okay, I want this shoot, I want this $50, whatever they're paying you when you're starting out, and you give them the rights and they end up on whatever. You tell them, I'm okay with you owning the rights, but on my grounds. You bring a release, you got to type it up, print it up. It's very fucking easy to do. And you make them sign it, and you keep a copy, they keep a copy. That way they can submit it to magazines, ads, whatever the fuck they want. It could be a Tic-Tac thing, but it will not be on a porn and I learned this because my image also got used for porn shit. Wow. And it's...
How did that affect you? Was that something that you had to battle?
Thankfully, it didn't affect me too bad because it was an old photo that got used once I was already a bit established. So people already knew me, and so it didn't really affect me that bad. Had it happened before I was established, then it probably would have. But because it was an older photographer who pulled up this photo and decided to use it once I was established, people already knew me in this industry, and they were just like, holy shit, did you see this? And people were like laughing about it. It didn't affect me in a negative way, thank goodness. It could have, had it happened before I was established. People would think that I did have something to do with that, or maybe I was into porn, or I was a porn, who knows? Who fucking knows? But it's very important, and
even for these things should be also stated. Even if you're paying a photographer,
absolutely, you bring your fucking release. Bring a release. It seems so hard, but you can Google model release form, put it on your computer, and then go through and change whatever you want changed. Add in that it will not be used for any nudity, porn, any type of sites like that. No, not used for any racism related sites or anything like this, and then print that out and bring it to your shoot and say, yeah, you can own my rights, but on my grounds, thank you. And they'll read it and they'll be like, okay, they'll
They can
fucking
okay it, or they can okay it, or they can deny it, whatever. Exactly. You know what?
No one.
If they don't sign it, then guess what? That answers your question.
That's the thing. Models think, I don't want to lose this. Really, what are you losing? A few fucking photos? Seriously, you have to think about the big picture and think about your future. Like I said, think about where you want to be and focus on that. And if this guy is not going to sign it, you have to ask yourself, why is he not going to sign it? And if you're willing to shoot with him anyways, knowing that he probably didn't want to sign it because he wants to use it for one of those sites, then you're allowing yourself to stray from the path. Like, you have to fucking say, okay, fuck you. I'll go to the next photographer. There's a million photographers. Stay on your path.
There you go. You know, and too many times where people are impatient and they get locked. Also, they get locked on time. Like, there's some sort of time and how they need to do things or whatever, you know. I think my boyfriend gave me like the best advice like ever. He says, you know, time isn't even an issue. You know, it's really not. You know, I think it's made
Everything's so intimate. You know, everything's so, but it's really fucking not.
It's not. You're in control of everything, and you can make, you know, and when the right time comes around, it's going to be. You just do the work.
The work, focus, be honest with yourself, and you will end up where you are supposed to be. If you're not honest with yourself, you're not focused where you're supposed to be, you're going to end up somewhere else that you didn't want to be. You're going to hate your fucking life. You're not going to be stoked. You're going to have these crazy photos out. You just got to, like, trust yourself and trust the universe. That's what I do, yeah.
I am so happy you got to sit down with me. Listen, isn't this an awesome interview? You know, because you know what, this is stuff that we need to continue to plug, because you know what, we're here to help people. We've been brought in life. Our purpose is to help and be kind and help others and to do the work, you know, because, you know, I feel like, you know, it is our job, you know, to pass on, you know, information, a thought, you know, a suggestion, something to make somebody think and maybe reflect and maybe get them to over that next hump that they need. You know, we're all in some aspects we're all connected. And we all can motivate each other, and we all can make it here in the world. We all can if we just sit down and just be honest and actually talk. Talk. Communication is so key. You know, this is the reason why I designed the show. This is the reason why I know that my purpose is here. This is the reason why God gave me a voice, and He's allowing me to use that voice for a greater good. And I'm taking it one step at a time, and I get to meet somebody as fabulous as you, somebody I look up to as well, and I admire, because you are, darling, just amazing. I love how humbled you are. I love how focused you are. I love the love in your eyes. I see everything that you do, and everything that you do with love, even with the pictures that you do. They amaze me. And keep up the good work. I'm blown away. And I'm honored to know you.
Thank you.
All right?
Honored to know you.
Thank you so much. And this was our interview for the LOLO Knows radio show. You want to say bye, baby?
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for all the love and support.
Okay. Until next time. Bye now.